Have you ever heard the saying, you don't want to build a house made of glass? Now, why do people say that? It's because a house made of glass, bam, one gust of wind, you're cooked. Now, a house made of stone, a house made of bricks, you're probably good to go. You should think about the same thing with your Dynasty roster. Today, we're going to be talking about some guys that maybe the production might be good, it might be a shiny object, they might be young, they might be at high upside, whatever the case may be. But I'm not looking to build my Dynasty roster around these players. Smash like and subscribe, man. Appreciate every single one of y'all with the support. Join the Discord, ask your trade questions. Join the Patreon for free or the paid tier for the 200-person buy, hold, sell list. And here we go. Let's get into things. We're going to go through a bunch of names today. And I'm going to tell you, is this a house made of brick or a house made of glass? Let's start things off with Jayden Daniels, aka Mr. Glass himself. Now, Jayden Daniels, a 25-year-old young asset, coming off of a 52, got the numbers backward, 52 rushing yards per game in his rookie season. He's shown the rushing upside. This guy was going top 3 in Dynasty startup drafts in 2025. Hooray. Listen, I'm scared. Injuries. Missed a lot, too much time in 2025. And when he was healthy in 2025, it wasn't great. 16 points per game, and obviously the rushing stats were down. Could you say it was because he was banged up and protecting himself? Sure. But even if we go back to this 2025 rookie season, 4 points per game the final week of the year. He wasn't even playing. They benched him, obviously. But I still think that in the playoffs, he was all right. He was good. And then you look at how much worse he was in, the most recent season in 2025. And it's noticeable. 17, 15, missing time, rushing yards per game is around 39. So he still is going to give you high rushing upside, but at what cost? Because this is a risky asset to be holding now. Value insulation. We already have a whole video out on value insulation. Jayden Daniels had so much value insulation from his rookie season that he barely dropped in the ranks from a terrible 2025. What does that mean? It means that you can sell him now for almost the same price, even though he produced nothing for you. Now, value insulation can only last so long. Jayden Daniels is a high-risk asset to be holding on to in Dynasty. If Daniels has a bad 2026, he will plummet in the rankings. Now, he's still young. He still does have that 50-plus rushing yard per game season. He probably won't drop past the 20s in the rankings, but it is a risky asset to be holding right now. So I actually would not prefer to build around Jayden Daniels. Drake Maye, obviously Drake Maye is in the Super Bowl. Obviously Drake Maye had a crazy good second season. He improved in every passing metric. What's interesting here about Maye that not many people are talking about is his rushing yards per game was pretty similar, a little bit worse actually, than in his rookie season. But so we know that Drake Maye is going to give you a rushing yard per game floor of around 30 rushing yards per game. That's great. We also have seen 275 passing yards per game and a very good passing touchdown rate of almost 2 touchdown passes per game. In an offense that, if you think about it, like, who do they have? Stephon Diggs? Kyle Williams? Mac Hollins? Like, can the Patriots go and grab Drake Maye a couple more pieces and then be a better football club? Yes, I do think so. So there definitely are better days ahead here for Drake Maye. Now, with Drake Maye, he will be very value insulated as well. Even if Drake Maye has a bad season, he probably will have a similar career arc to Jayden Daniels, where he's even younger. And I think if Drake Maye has a bad, let's say Drake Maye comes out in 26, averages 18 points per game. It's not bad. I think Drake Maye would still be somewhere in the top 7 Dynasty assets in terms of the rankings. So this is somebody that is relatively safe to build your team around. Now, me personally, I might look to sell him right now at number 2 because there's not much room for him to move up as an asset. He already is peak. He already is top dog. He already is alpha. So I do think that he is deserving of where he is. I'm just saying that there's only a world really where he starts moving down now in the future. So you might want to capitalize. If I was building my team and I was not in a true contend mode, even if I wasn't in contend mode, like, I would start putting out feelers for Drake Maye right now. Hopefully that makes sense. Like, he deserves to be here. But we've only seen one season. We've only seen one season of Drake Maye at 20 plus points per game. That is a small sample size in the grand scheme of things. So we'll see how the rest of that shakes up. Let's keep going down here. Like Lamar Jackson, there's a world where I don't want to build around Lamar. Some injury concerns there, but when Lamar is healthy, you are still getting double-digit, 20 plus point per game averages. So I'm actually fine with that. Joe Burrow is someone I don't want to build around. Let me tell you why. Look at the stats. Joe Burrow misses way too much time. He misses way too much time, and he has absolutely no rushing upside. This is somebody that averages 10 rushing yards a game. That's nothing. So absolutely no rushing upside. Touchdown passing rate, obviously immaculate. You have Chase, you have Higgins. That should stay the same as long as he's healthy. When Burrow is healthy, he'll average close to 20 points per game, as we've seen the last 2 seasons. Now, when he's healthy, that's a big asterisk. Put an asterisk next to it. Little X and then the stars and all that stuff, right? The grid lines. Burrow is scary. It's scary holding Burrow when he's the number 12th ranked asset. So we just saw Joe Burrow, who averaged 19 points per game in 2025. And I keep showing Jackson Dart as my favorite comparison here. Jackson Dart, you can't look at the career average, look at the game logs. Jackson Dart averaged 23 points per game when he was healthy in 2025 as a rookie. He is 7 years younger. He obviously does. I mean, we're starting to talk about Jackson Dart's injury history, and he's a rookie, so that's scary. He missed time with the concussion. But Jackson Dart gives you the rushing upside that Joe Burrow doesn't. He averaged 40, 50 rushing yards a game. He scored a lot. Nobody's talking about a lot of rushing touchdowns. Jackson Dart's one of my favorite guys to be trading for right now. And if you compare just the production, the age, everything, I mean, there's a world where you'd rather have Dart than Joe Burrow, and I wouldn't blame you. And when you're telling me that Joe Burrow is currently ranked as number 12, is he going to be reliable with the injury history? And what can you get on top? Let's just say, bam, let's trade Burrow for Dart. What can you add on? Like, you can get Burrow for Dart, and maybe as a throw-in, you get a first-round pick. Maybe you get a Travion. Maybe you get, a Kyron and something else on top of that. So I love the value that you can gain by sending Burrow elsewhere. That's why I would not be building around him currently. Caleb Williams is solid. Malik Neighbors is solid. Jefferson's age, like, he's technically in his prime, still one of the top receivers, but the JJ McCarthy situation scares me. So I'm a little bit scared building around Jay Jettas right now. So these top 20 are really the cornerstone guys, and now we start getting into some more speculative plays. Speculative? I know I said it wrong. Some speculative plays here where you might not even necessarily build your team around these guys. The backbone of your dynasty team is still made up in this 20 to 50 overall ranking, where you want to be holding as much of these guys as you possibly can. Nico Collins, absolutely not. Nico Collins, I mean, there's a world, in my head, Jayden Higgins is going to be the new Nico Collins, and I say that because Nico Collins is 27 years old, a little bit old for me. It's not old in terms of dynasty, like he's still going to be here for 4 or 5 years. We're not going to see a production dip, but the health is a concern. We did just see a production dip here in 2025. And Dynasty is about playing the value, playing the market. The market is telling us that Nico Collins didn't change in value at all. He's still 25th overall ranked in value, and he just had his worst season of the past 3 years. Jayden Higgins is there, Noel is there, Kirk is there. It's getting kind of crowded. Texans O-line is bad. CJ Stroud, now there's some bad buzz around him. Would I rather have Pickens, George Pickens, he's younger, less injury history, and just had 18 points per game. If he re-signs with Dallas, I'd rather have Pickens over Collins straight up. Ted McMillan, his rookie season, he just had 13 points per game. Ted McMillan is younger, much younger, and I think better, just as good as Nico Collins. Only thing that concerns me here about T-Mac is, do you want to be attached to Bryce Young? Talk about glass house. Like, is Bryce Young going to be able to sustain a Ted McMillan 18 point per game season? I have absolutely no idea. So Pickens seems a bit safer here, but Nico Collins, I ain't building around him. Garrett Wilson, I am not building around this scrub. This guy, sure, everyone can argue. Don't even argue. Garrett Wilson is talented. He's a good receiver. With that said, the stats, it's not matching. He hasn't ever finished as a top 20 wide receiver finish. His best season, 14.8 points per game. Welcome to the flex spot. Like, I don't know why this guy is still ranked number 20, was it 29th, 28th overall in the rankings. It's because of the youngness. Well, not even 26 yet. I mean, but still, like, you're grasping at straws here. I don't care that Brady Cook was his quarterback. It's bad. It is bad. The Jets quarterback situation is not going to be changing. You're stuck here with Garrett Wilson for the future. He's going to be stuck with the New York Jets, so he's attached to this bad dumpster fire of a team. And just Garrett Wilson, you're not getting points. I get it. The name, Garrett Wilson, man, this guy, Ohio State receiver, he's making great catches. You're losing every single dynasty week because you have 14 points per game in your wide receiver spot. It's mind-boggling. So Garrett Wilson, absolute glass house. Don't build around that guy. Who else do we want to talk about here? Like, I'm liking most of these names I'm seeing here. T. Higgins, injury history, old. Maybe you don't build around him. I don't mind it though. Like, T. Higgins is a solid asset to have on your dynasty team. And now as we start going down and down through these rankings, are you really building around some of these players? Only if they are, contending assets, meaning they're older, but they're going to be producing. Like Christian McCaffrey, even if you're a contending team right now, I would look to pivot to the future and get rid of McCaffrey. McCaffrey's coming off of an RB1 season. He's 30 years old, and we all know the history here. I don't even have to talk about it, right? When he's healthy, he's a league winner. When he's not healthy, you're cooked. And at this point in his career, if he's not healthy, he might be retiring. So McCaffrey's getting up there on the age cliff. Let's look at Alvin Kamara. Alvin Kamara was in a similar situation, obviously not to the same extent, but Kamara's coming off RB3, RB5 finishes coming in to 2025. I had Kamara on my team. I was turning down, trades. I was trying to get rid of him before the season, but I was stubborn in my head, like, man, this guy can still average 17 points per game. Craziness, right? He was same age as McCaffrey is coming into 2025. Running backs are approaching 30. Big value decline. You'll see it all very historically if you look at the stats. But Kamara, I was declining. I had a couple offers that was like 2 seconds for Kamara, and it turns out, bam, look at the cliff. Kamara fell off of a major cliff, and it's a cliff that he's not going to be able to come back from. He's replaced. He's still going to be there in 2026. I'm still expecting 10 points per game, which is absolutely nothing. So the mighty can fall. Use Alvin Kamara as an example of that. And I do not want to be the sucker holding on to the fall of Christian McCaffrey. Do not fight natural age. Like, do not fight it. Don't be the hot potato. Pass him around. Okay, that sounds wild, but pass it around, man. And do not be the last guy holding on to CMC as he is declining. Bryce Young. Don't build around this guy. Do not expect him to be a serviceable quarterback. Now, I do think that, honestly, he is ranked quite low. So I don't really know what you're going to trade him for. Rushing upside, not great. That's what scares me here. But I wouldn't be surprised. I'm surprised. If you look at his rushing upside, towards the back half of the year, he was getting a little bit more mobile. Maybe we see that continue as a trend, but it's not looking good. Bryce Young, I would trade him while he still has any value whatsoever. And there are also good assets to build around. Let's just do a quick breakdown of that, especially in this range right here. Let's just break down, all right, who you don't want to build around those guys? Who would I want to build around? I want to take some shots on Tyler Warren. I think that Chase Brown is a great guy to hold on to. Fadden is a good name to hold on to. Javonte, Scatterbo, Harvey, those are great guys. And I'm saying build around them because they're going to, right now you're planting the foundation. They're 60th, 70th, 80th in rank, and they can blossom to the top 40 that we were talking about, guys you don't want to hold on to. Tyler Shuck, great example. Sam Laporta, great example. Gatson, a lot of guys that can return value down here in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. We have tons of videos breaking all of that down. Hopefully this video helped you out, man. I just wanted to drop a couple names of guys, and just think about your Dynasty team in terms of a brick house versus a glass house. Don't be the sucker that loses value holding on to somebody because of their name. Garrett Wilson is a prime example. Don't let that be you. Especially, I'm sure I want to appreciate every single one of y'all. See you in the next